Meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oops. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission to order. Let the record reflect that all three commissioners are present. First item on the agenda is consent and approval. Renetta?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We have 13 exonerations for $5,690.96. Minutes for June 2nd, 2021. Vouchers, General County Fund, $389,230.85. Coal Severance, $2,066.94. Chestnut Ridge Park, $2,044.40. Camp Muffley, $640.41. Mason-Dixon Park, $1,722.80. Recreation Levy, $2,050. Assessor's Valuation, $3,233.80. Payroll, $1,644,335.02. Purchasing card vouchers, General County Fund, $41,210.10. Coal Severance, $406.10. 911, $1,734.66. Chestnut Ridge Park, $582.82. Camp Muffley, $628.85. Mason-Dixon Park, $252.68. Assessor's Valuation, $7,959.37. Voucher total of $2,098,098.80. We have budget revisions that require in-house approval for general fund for the circuit clerk, data processing, and emergency management. State approval for general fund, day report center, juvenile detention, mental health, visitors bureau, capital outlay central garage, and capital outlay other buildings equipment. Position vacancies for boards and authorities are listed on our website. Fiduciary orders for June 9th, 2021.
Okay, one clarification.
Okay.
The budget revision that wasn't on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Day report center.
Didn't I read day report center?
I'm not sure if I heard that.
Oh, day report center. It's on the list. I thought I read it. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Move for approval.
Second.
Oh, we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have any separate fiduciary orders?
No.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is introduction of new employees, personnel changes. We have MJ Zink, Executive Director, Mon County Youth Services.
She has a new part-time relief worker, Michelle Conley. Michelle will be starting on June 11th, 2021. $11
So move
an
for
hour.
approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Justin Krieger, Director, Monongalia County Day Report Center.
Morning,
Morning,
Commissioners. How are
Justin.
you?
Morning.
I would like to introduce Molly Long. She is a WU student here, and she, with your approval, she is going to be starting as a case aide at the Day Report Center on Monday at $11 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank
Where are you
you.
from?
Philadelphia.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, should
Well, that was the right answer.
go Eagles. Okay. We have to talk later. Welcome.
Welcome.
When are you giving her a bonus?
Never.
Good answer.
Okay, do we have any other?
Just one that was a transfer from part-time to full-time. Nicholas Rose for the Sheriff's Department, process transport officer. He would move into
Okay.
full-time.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. No others?
That's it.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is comments from the public. We'll now open the comments from the public session of the meeting. Anybody that wants to address the commission may come forward and provide their name for the record. And please note that generally we limit you to 3 minutes, but at the discretion of the president. So come on forward.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Mark Nesselrode. I'm with Black Diamond Realty, and we represent property owners and many medical cannabis firms. I want to thank the Commission for its continued support of medical cannabis, and we really do have a shared goal of public health, a based framework of regulation, getting patients and citizens of our county access to medical cannabis, and also creating development and new business opportunities. But unfortunately, the action by the Board of Health a couple weeks ago on May 27th was very untimely and frankly irresponsible. As you probably know, medical cannabis facilities and property owners are spending capital and operational dollars currently, acquiring loans, constructing, renovating facilities, preparing for operations, and all that's based on county zoning verification letters, city zoning verification letters back in January of 2020, the BOH's location approvals in October of 2020, Office of Medical Cannabis granted permits in January of 21 for each facility, plans and specs approved by the Office of Medical Cannabis, state fire marshal and city building permit issuances. But now we've got this regulation that was up for public comment back in the fall, and without any change to it, has now been adopted. The County Commission, as you know, has a legal opinion that says it's not allowed. It conflicts with zoning laws, it conflicts with state law, creates a lot of uncertainty and undue financial harm to property owners and cannabis firms. It can create a lot of turmoil if it comes into effect later this month. Many dispensaries would have locations that are in contradiction with what's already been approved, and then this regulation. It would require undue postponement of facilities opening. People would have to go back and get their building permits reissued. They'd have to get new approvals from now the county and Office of Medical Cannabis and city or state fire marshal. The amended plans and specs, it's going to cause a lot of economic harm. A lot of these businesses and property owners have been waiting over a year and a half at this point, and gone through a whole bunch of processes and relying on what's occurred to date. Fortunately, as you might also know, the County Commission has really the authority and the duty to either approve, disapprove, or amend and approve the regulation that's in effect, or that will go into effect later this month. Senate Bill 12 was passed on March 4th, 2021. It became effective June 2nd. The County Board of Health regulation was adopted May 27th. However, it's not effective until June 26th. So that leaves the County Commission with this meeting, and I believe 2 others to take that action, which we'd really, really request. And that would put a lot of turmoil at bay. And then in the meantime, honestly, the offer there was a stakeholder letter submitted back in November. The offer is still there by these firms and property owners, mainly the cannabis firms, because they've seen the best practices. They're the national groups that they don't want robberies and different things occurring at their facilities, and they know how to address it. And there's plenty of different ways. But let's look at those best practices and address the concerns, and not just have the Board of Health rely on their own folks doing that research. Let's involve the Office of Medical Cannabis and the legislators who've set forth legislative rules, involve the County Commission, and really put that into place. But at this point, let's get the cannabis facilities open and operating, and then see what needs to be done from an efficient, rational standpoint. Because honestly, if the Commission doesn't take an action, I don't know where it's going to end up, but it's not going to be good. And I don't think anybody wants that. I think we all have the shared goal of, getting the product out there and things open at this point. So appreciate your time and consideration, and would request a vote to disapprove the regulations set forth by the Board of Health.
Can I move to suspend the rules? For
Sure.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in
Okay.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just for clarification, since Sean Sikora wasn't here, Phil, yeah, and this was brought up last week. So all we did was we wanted to make it very clear that we were going to do our due process. And we didn't put it on the agenda this week because I said he wasn't here. He's our liaison. We wanted to hear from him. We also had to get Renetta to actually get all the information, to get what was passed and what was also amended. And there's a clarification, they pass like 9 pages. Then they added some amendments, and that's why we were trying to clarify what was what. And basically, but I will say that I think the three of us are adamant that something, we have to review it and we'll review it before it goes into effect. And I just want you to, so that's a background information also for Sean, because I didn't want to think that we've done anything. And that's why it wasn't on the agenda today, but we are going to immediately discuss this. I don't know if Jeff go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I concur. That sums it up. I appreciate you coming in. I know
Yeah.
you called a couple of us during the last week and gave us your concerns. And
Have to have 5 people call.
and so we're taking everything under advisement, seeing what our legal positions are, and then we'll have a discussion about it and then see where we go.
Certainly, and we've got a stakeholder letter coming, kind of outlining a lot of the concerns and suggestions of how it can be remedied in the future.
Okay.
So that'll be coming, and certainly look forward to answering any questions or helping out as much as possible.
Yeah, and you certainly just noticed another important distinction is the commission prior to June 2nd didn't have any power to disapprove of health department ordinances, and this was passed prior to that, but there is the distinction of when it goes into effect of then whether it still falls under the new law, which is require the commission's purview. The other part is the amendments actually propose a grandfathering of all the existing permits. So that's the other thing that needs to be considered, is if the commission wants to consider the amendment ordinance, which would grandfather and would solve the problems of the existing
It would solve some problems, however, at some point, these firms are going to need to relocate, or there might be one that goes out of business and a new firm coming in, then you've still got the zoning laws to deal with. Plus, the part that's not grandfathered includes things like man-trap doors and vaults and different
Exactly.
things that are physical to the nature, and building permits and all that stuff has already been issued. And to have to go back and get Office of Medical Cannabis reapproval of permits and plans, as well as if you're in the city limits or wherever you might be, state fire marshal, all that's going to cost money and time, and really it's just unnecessary at this point. There's all kinds of alternative ways to deal with that. So, the group that we represent certainly would be against the existing regulation and the amended regulation that's out for public comment. Plus honestly, the amended regulation, I suppose the county commission could make the amendment and approve it, but right now it's up for public comment. It wouldn't come into effect after 30 days after adoption of the Board of Health. So now we're into September, October, when these places are supposed to be up and operating. So
Certainly, we certainly agree that obviously it's now a legal conundrum, of whether the health department had the authority to issue this ordinance, and then once they've issued the ordinance, if it was issued lawfully without the commission's weighing in, which prior to June 7th they could do, then how do you address that? So we hear you. We are looking into it, and the health department did have some basic concerns. I think the same concerns that any of the permit holders had when they were putting in their applications. Nobody knew that the state was going to put 14 of these in one county, which I'm not even sure from a business plan perspective whether this county could 14 of these entities be viable in this county. I mean, that's twice as many sheets. And you don't ever hear somebody complaining that there's no sheets available to go get gas. And there certainly is a heck of a lot less people that need of these facilities. So those are the concern. I mean, some of the concerns. I mean, I think we all three are in agreement that when this was going forward, we were unanimously in support of these entities being in our county. No one had any idea that they were going to put so many in this county.
Yes.
Like I said, we have one sheets for every 17,000 people in this county. This would make one of these entities for like every 7,000, which the numbers, that's when you start looking at the numbers. Okay, so how can these businesses even going through all the effort of standing up these entities, how can they survive when there doesn't seem to be the demand for the product in this particular county at that level?
I would
So-
say that's probably an economic supply-demand issue for those industries. I mean, I don't know, I've not counted the number of actual pharmacies in this county, but I bet there's a couple dozen pharmacies. So
Mm-hmm.
they're much more akin to a pharmacy
Yes.
than a Sheetz. And when you get into counting numbers of types of businesses, I think you get into zoning at that point. So
Okay.
I would say let the law of supply and demand factor that out.
If I could just bring up one of them, you both brought up an issue that someone called, and again, this is going to be up in the legal's hands. Under Article 2, location, where it says that the preceding paragraph, to the extent that they exceed the requirements and the regulations pursuant to the Act, shall be waived as the facilities for which applicants for permits have been submitted, but only the paragraph before, not the rest of the items. And the question this lawyer said is that meaning that all 14 and all this has been grandfathered in, or just the location part? And I said, I'm not an attorney. That's why we need to,
Yeah, and that's what.
that's why we're trying to
obviously-
figure this out.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
very diligent in everything we do, and obviously that's why I allowed this.
Right.
We as a commission allowed this conversation just to
Right.
kind of
Open
update.
it. Mhm.
But it's something we do need to dig into and have some conversations sooner rather than later in
Yeah.
regards to where we go from here.
Much appreciated. We look
Thank
forward
you
to
for-
a resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else who'd like to speak in public comment? Seeing no one else, I'll go ahead and close public comment. Sheriff Palmer, presentation of the 2020 delinquent tax list.
Ugh.
It's not as thick as
No,
it
it isn't
usually
as
is.
thick as-
It's really not.
Thank you. Usually
This is
it's
the,
twice as thick.
presenting you all with a list for the delinquent 2020 real estate and personal property taxes. And I just need y'all to certify the list to the county clerk to be recorded. And if you have questions on it,
You can, yeah.
And I assume none of us are on it.
Correct. That is correct. So the amount of real estate that's delinquent is $3,145,003.70. Personal property, $2,255,646.28 with the total delinquency, and I have a copy. Let me just do that.
here, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
You got it.
I need one from me.
Yeah.
I have one for the clerk's office. So the total delinquent is $5,400,649.98. And that is 5.06% of the taxes that are delinquent. And as you can see, I gave you the history from 17, 18, and 19. And as you can see, let me give one to clerk. That actually our tax collections are increasing, that we're having less delinquency.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
that
good
is a
thing.
good
As you
thing.
note on this, 2017 is 8.3, and this year, 2018 was 6.4, 2019, 5.5, and this year's 5.06, so good job. That's why the stack isn't as thick.
Thank you.
The postcard reminder.
Yes, I think the postcards are definitely.
Oh, I think that's a great idea, great addition.
Yeah, it really, it has helped a lot. And the other thing I did want to mention, this was published in the newspaper 2 weeks ago as
Yeah.
per state code, and we have not received any inquiries as to request to be removed because it was incorrect, and I'm sure you haven't either. I would have.
No.
heard from you,
Inquiries
so.
and/or challenges. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the list?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Real quick, before I have another appointment I need to go to, and I haven't been in front of you all in a while, I just want to, on behalf of county employees, I know the sheriff's firm, that they really appreciate the recent raise that takes effect in July. You know, the people I've talked to in my department shows that you all are keeping up with, stepping up, and with the year we had last year, we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Okay, next item on the agenda is grants, Colleen Kuhn grants.
If you look at it, it's the same.
We received notice that we were awarded a grant contract for the Community Corrections Grant for the Day Report Center in the amount of $190,000. And I have a resolution for you all. The Monongalia County Commission met on Wednesday, June 9th, with a quorum present and passed the following resolution. Be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission hereby authorizes the Honorable Sean P. Sikora, President of the Monongalia County Commission, to act on its behalf to enter into a contractual agreement with the Division of Administrative Services, Justice and Community Service Section to receive and administer grant funds pursuant to the provisions of the West Virginia Community Corrections Grant Program. So with that, you will need to sign the grant contract agreement, 2 EEOP certification forms, a lobbying and disbarment form. You will also have to sign the schedule of payments, stating that we accept quarterly payments from them. And then also a request for funds for each quarter in advance.
A motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, next on the item on the agenda is correspondence.
I only had one item come in. This is an announcement of planned action from the Monongalia County Coal Resources Company. This is regarding operations in Monongalia County for what was formerly known as Blacksville 2. They will be starting a staged layoff in August, and they will have another group of people laid off September 7th. So this will be on file in our office, similar to the one we have for Veritas Theater.
Yeah, and this is unfortunate because I did the math on the stage 1 layoffs. It was 66 employees, and then stage 2 is 114 for a total of 180 positions that would be disappear. So fortunately, it's not good correspondence.
There are many Monongalia County residents that I live out there. Many Monongalia County residents that desperately need these jobs, and it's very unfortunate. There's not a lot to replace that.
Yes. Okay. Any other correspondence? Okay. Unfinished business. None? New business. Consideration of an appointment to the Mountain Lion Transit Authority.
We had a resignation of Jim Manella a few weeks ago. We've been advertising. We only received one application. Wesley Nugent, former city council person from Morgantown, he is asking to be appointed to the Transit Authority.
And this position is vetted by W.
No, this is not.
This
No,
one
this is
isn't?
an
Okay,
actual
this is
county
just our appointment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Do we have a motion to
Move for
approve?
approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
The other appointment that you were speaking about, I'm still waiting for confirmation from the city of Morgantown to see if the council
Okay.
is going to move forward on that one.
Okay, thank you. To consider requests submitted by Pop Shop West Virginia for use of the courthouse square on July 17, 2021 for the Pop Shop Girls Rock Camp Summer Performance.
So moved. Yeah.
Second with discussion.
Sure.
Sure.
Just real quick, anyone that's not familiar with Pop Shop, it's a fantastic organization. Kids go out and learn literally how to be rock stars. My brother's taught for that group for years, guitar, and it's something to see when these kids get up there and they play songs you all will have heard, and they're really good. Seeing a little guy banging on the drums or a young girl with a bass guitar bigger than she is banging away on it, it's pretty fantastic to see. So I wholeheartedly encourage you to take a look and experience one of these concerts.
No, when I saw this request for the courthouse square, I was like, what a perfect venue, because my
Yeah.
daughter's been through the Pop Shop program.
Oh, great.
My daughter Gwen, and it was a wonderful program. And sitting through all their practices, you go from the beginning, and people not even knowing how to play instruments, and you take 4 or 5 kids and you teach them, and by the end they can play 2 or 3 songs. It's really pretty cool, and it's a great organization. And I think they used to have the end of camp concerts like a local facility,
Yeah.
like 123 Pleasant Street used to have.
Black-
And I
Right,
think
Black
having
used to go there all the
Black Bear,
time,
having them
yes.
out in the courthouse square, I think is a great
Mm-hmm.
location, and hopefully the weather cooperates, because a lot of people ought to just go see these kids play. It's really neat.
Oh,
So-
it's fun. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a first, did we motion?
Yeah, we have
Okay,
first and a
we
second.
First and second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is there any other business? Okay. Okay, reports from elected officials and/or department supervisors? Okay, we have none. Okay, reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yeah, this was a real eventful week. Last week, received the call late, and I was asked to represent the county commission. The Secretary of Energy came in with Senator Manchin and a number of the Republican leadership of the House and Senate. And I was surprised, both Ron Delaney and I, when we were leaving, we thought it was just to greet. Senator Manchin said, "No, I want you in our meeting," which was nice to hear. And I think what was important is that there was an energy level for the first time that was positive, and that what we were basically asking for is time to work with the Secretary of Energy and not just consider shutting everything off with fossil fuels. And as we talked, I think that to sum it up, the conversation was, don't use the word transition, because when West Virginians hear transition, that means you get trained and then you move somewhere else. Use more diversification, is bring the companies here, then you train them to diversify to work with the companies here. And hopefully, there's some things that they had said that they wanted to consider, especially with how to deal with the watershed problems when the mines are all closed. And I thought that was a really interesting topic. And I will say, shockingly, we discussed about the gas line and being closed. And I just want to say there was a very open discussion about that really was positive, I think, for West Virginia. Second thing, yes, this has been a bad week in the sense of we have the Milan closing, getting closer. We have the announcement, Blackstone number 2. You also had the Med Express that I found out was about 65 employees there. And unfortunately, we are working as a commission to come up with other alternatives to bring in for the economy, to balance out the loss. So I just want the public to know that. The third thing is, I just want to say quickly, I met yesterday with some administrators at Pierpont College just to discuss possible economic issues that Mon County and we may be working on. And then the fourth is, again, I'm receiving, I don't know if you've received the calls yet, we have now 2 new encampments that are growing, one in the city, one in the county. But I can say we are going at 11 o'clock today to talk about the issue up at Ramada Inn and to discuss general issues about what's going on there. And we are slowly dealing with these issues. And that's it.
Thank you, Tom. Jeff?
Just a couple of things. I received a letter from Our Revolution, West Virginia, Jenny Craig, just announcing a town hall that they're having for the 1,400 Milan or Beatrice employees, that basically a town hall, and they're bringing folks in from other areas of the country where similar things have happened to give them some information and discussion. It's to take place at the Euro Suites Hotel on Thursday, June 10th at 5:30 p.m. So anyone that's interested in attending that is certainly, from the looks of this letter, is welcome to attend. Also, with all the rain over the last month, it's done a number on our Rails for Trails. And just they're needing volunteers. You can contact Ella Belling at the Rails for Trails office to if you want to get out and help with any type of remediation on slides or different repairs that need done, or just general cleanup. I know they're desperately in need always of volunteers. So
Thanks, Jeff.
that's all I've got.
Okay, my schedule is a little light because I've been on vacation for a couple days, but I wasn't completely out of the office. On Friday, I participated in our broadband initiative call. We were preparing for our first status call with our consultant, which will be this Friday. Yesterday, I participated in a Moody's rating review. We had a talk before, about a week and a half ago, with Moody's. They interviewed us, got detail for a rating for our bonds, that refinancing of the Justice Center bonds. And so they finally published their report, and we had 2 hours to review it and provide comment. But we didn't have any comment, and everything seemed to be fine. I'm going to talk about that a little later. Today's a regular day. As Tom indicated, we are going to visit with Morgantown Community Resources, I believe is the name of the
Is that, yeah,
entity.
okay, yeah.
That is responsible for what we previously called the Ramada project, just to get an update to make sure that we're all aware, community members. I believe the city's participating. It's basically county officials too. The judges were invited, so just to get an update on their operations and where they stand and how they're moving forward. So look forward to that. Tomorrow I have a red team meeting and a development authority meeting. Friday we have staff reports, and we have our broadband initiative call in the afternoon, as I already mentioned. Yes, it is unfortunate that this mine closure, and that's one thing that we need to be firm when we're talking to our representatives at the federal level, because decisions that are made at this federal level are affecting us locally. And I'm not saying that this is a closure because of recent events. I believe this mine was gradually, we've been hearing that we're getting to the point where they're going to be shutting it down. So it's been a long, something that's been in process, but we have, we have a extension of our Longview 2 and 3 projects that are in the air because of uncertainty about federal policy. Obviously, we've had the XL pipeline shut down, which has affected a lot of projects in the area. We have the other pipeline that, after going through the Supreme Court, they just walked away and said, no, it's not worth it. So we do need to be firm. Our representatives in D.C. need to know that, we need to push back, and they need to push back on policy. So anyhow, but thanks, Tom, for participating in that. There is some good news. As I mentioned from the Moody's review, we did receive a very nice review. Our bond, the rating for the bonds that we were going to be issuing was actually upped to an A3. Our current rating is A2. AAA. There's two different ratings. One for the lease bonds, they rated how the bonds should be issued, and the other thing was just an update on our general overall county rating, which is a AA. Which there are some good notes that were put in this report. I want to read a couple of them. One from the summary. It says the county's financial position is healthy and strong, with strong reserves and liquidity levels, despite a track record of funding capital improvements out of the general fund. As the majority of county's debt is self-supporting tax increment financing debt, the overall leverage profile is manageable as general fund supported debt is minimal and pension obligations are average. And then there's one other, again, it's a very good report. Under governance, it says county management has demonstrated conservative budgeting and expenditure control as illustrated by its generally balanced operations and maintenance of healthy reserve levels, even while maintaining a robust capital improvement plan. So there is some good news. Your county's in good shape, and we continue. That's why we can't rest on our laurels, and we're always on to the next project, as far as development and how we can make sure that as unfortunate news of some of these layoffs occur, we have good news of opportunities to fill those positions. So with that, motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.